Okay, well, let's look at this here. Here's the Pope. Nice hat, huh? Nice hat, buddy. Looking good, buddy. Looking real good. Looks like the fucking thing off that James Bond movie, Moonraker. Most of you ain't either watched it or don't know what it is or haven't paid attention. What a surprise. This clown. The 266th pontiff. Fuck the fuck off. Fucking moron, you fucking gay wads. What a bunch of fucking freaks. I told you, Jesus didn't have nothing to do with this, and Jesus didn't have nothing to do with the Jews. Just because he was born in Israel, or Bethlehem, or wherever the fuck it is, the historians that are fucking shills that get paid off to say the guy was born, doesn't mean any of that shit really is like the major linchpin to this whole thing. Jesus was a Jew, and the Jews need fucking the Christians to go battle somebody and beat them up for him. These guys have been using that guy's name to conquer fucking Europe and the world in the name of the white man's religion for fucking thousands of years. It's all the same thing. America's a corporation. Nobody wants their son to go die for a corporation because it doesn't sell. It's not good. We can't get people to sign up, but when you're dying for your country, no problem. I was glad to do it. See, it's all in the words. You know, it's all in the words. So you look at this freak here, right? We live in a day where you can fucking find an ant's asshole with a satellite from fucking Pluto in a fucking jungles of fucking Africa. But these motherfuckers still gotta sit outside and fucking wait for a fucking smoke signal. Is it black or is it white? You know, interesting colors, right? Interesting colors. Who else uses those colors? Ah, you already know that. So we look at this goofy bastard with the seal of Saturn all over his hat. All this thing is a cube, people. It's just a cube. All they do is they round the edges off on it. It's the same design. It's always the design. Here's the circle. Here's the circle and a square. Does this not look like a computer graphics layout to you? It's a circle and a square. Here's homie sporting his fucking purple fucking robe. What a surprise. Give me a break. This goofy bastard. Now you notice he's reading. But this is the perfect, this is what I'm talking about, people. This looks like this guy is holding up a box or a cube. And here's the circle. It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. And incidentally, a lot of this stuff, biblically, what you consider to be biblically, is based off of sexual innuendos, descriptions of female parts, mostly women's, sometimes men. You know, the cube, it's a box. What is a box? It's a woman's vagina. When they talk about St. Peter at the Golden Gates and you enter into paradise, it's a man's penis entering a woman's vagina. Okay? There's a lot of bullshit going on here where people have led to believe one thing that's really another. This is paganistic, humanist worship. It has to do with the woman's vagina because it represents life. It's the first religion. It was the first religion ever. Okay? That's why all of this, I am woman, hear me roar, which is the lead, Jacob, the lion, all of that Saturn bullshit. Okay? There's nothing holy here. Nothing. This idiot. You see all these people? See all these people? That was the one time in history where knowledge was out there, where people could have stormed this building. They could have stormed this building and changed the face of history. There wasn't enough people on duty to stop those people. It could have been like, there were 2 tickets left at a Who concert and everybody wanted one. They could have barreled right in there, taken it over, run down in those catacombs, ripped all of that shit out and exposed it to the world for what it is. And what do? They stand there waving a flag, believing some silly ass bullshit. I do believe that Jesus was the son of the Creator. I don't believe any of this other bullshit that went with it. And I'll give you a perfect example, the way this is written. Matthew 24:3. Later Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciples came to him privately and said, tell us when this will all happen. So his disciples came to him and said in privacy. So that means it's private. So who was there to write it? Who was there to record it? See, it's I hate to say it, but it's bullshit. Jesus was described as being very similar to John the Baptist, who, if you go read about him, was a raving lunatic that jumped up and down and ate bugs. But the guy's heart was in the right place. And Jesus was the same thing. But all of this other crap about him wearing white linen and going around and saying, "Suffer not the children." Oh, he probably told him, "Get the fuck off my lawn." Believe me, he was a carpenter. You think carpentry's hard these days? It's like my profession. I do tree work. But tree work, what I'm doing compared to what my father did, and going back to the guys that founded this country, the guys that were in tree work, is nothing. It's pussy work. Okay, because they didn't have the luxury of all of this stuff now. So how, do you really think that this guy was a soft-spoken? Yeah, he was so soft-spoken, he went into the temple and flipped the tables and told him, "Get the fuck out. And be quiet on the way out. I got neighbors. They work for a living too." Nah. When you really, really start digging and looking at this stuff, this is all well-crafted bullshit for keeping the masses in control. The silver lining to the whole thing is that there's a lot of truth involved in all of this stuff. Okay? Look, the word paradise, when Jesus is on the cross and the robber or the thief is next to him, and Jesus tells him, "Oh, today I'll be with you, and today you'll be with me in paradise." Well, the way that they're using it, whether you understand this or not, is they believe that this is a go-round machinery type of a deal. Like Pink Floyd said, "Welcome to the machine," that you just get thrown in there, and sometimes you're a cop, and sometimes you're a robber, or sometimes you're rich, and sometimes you're poor, or you're this or you're that you have absolutely no control. And so, today you'll be with me in paradise, the way that they're actually phrasing it is you're just basically thrown into a random situation generator and you're spit out. In other words, a pair of dice. And what do you do with a pair of dice? It's a crapshoot. Don't know what you're going to get. What's the old phrase? You have to play the cards that are dealt you. That's what they're saying. That's not what I'm referring to, but that's what they're referring to. Today you'll be with me in paradise. Okay, all you got to do is go back and look at the Zodiac Killer and go look what he's got on there. He's got a pair of dice. Okay, and he makes a direct reference to that. Look, King James was involved in Masonry. He was also a homosexual. Sorry, it's true. It doesn't mean that there's no truth in the Bible, because there is, absolutely. I still believe that Jesus is the Son of the Creator, and I do believe that he did many, many great, wonderful things that we'll never know, because those things aren't in the written books that have been published. That's why it's the King James authorized version. If you want to read anything that might have some substance in it, go look at the unauthorized versions. Go back before the King James version. I've had people tell me, "Well, that's the only real Bible in the world." Well, what was real before that? Well, that was the Geneva Bible. What was real before that? Well, blah, blah, blah. And then you keep going, and pretty soon, what was real before that? Well, okay, the Sumerian tablets. I mean, you just got to really sit down and understand what it is the fuck you're reading. But getting back to this silly shit, this is the one chance in recent history where you could have gone in there, you could have changed the face of history. But what do? They all got this stupid flag. Viva la Papa. Come on, man. Give me a break. I mean, how fucking dumb can you be? I mean, look at this. Well, is this surprising to you? Viva la Papa. You notice they got the I and the L in red and blue. Your two pillars. The two pillars. The Father. Are you fucking kidding me? You know what, humanity? Grow the fuck up and understand you got fucked. You got fucked. Religion is a fraud. Every bit of it, in every angle that you can think of, it's a fucking joke. They got demonic entities sitting on top of these buildings. What do you think that's for? Halloween? Like I said, once I got my settlement, my videos were going to be farther and farther in between, and eventually it would just stop. So I can't be sure when the next one's going to come. But until then, try and use your head for something besides the fucking hat rack.